Plastic pads, millions of them, and no one really knows where they go. Every year, India generates over 1,13,000 tons of menstrual waste, buried in landfills, burned on open grounds, dumped on beaches, eaten by animals. Made of plastic, they take more than 500 years to disappear. It's a problem hidden in plain sight, one that affects our communities, our health, and our environment. And yet, it rarely makes it into conversations about climate pollution or women's health. Welcome to the 5th episode of Rooting for the Grassroots. Today, we look at how the young change makers are confronting one of the most overlooked environmental crises in India, the waste created by single-use pads, and how our champions are dealing with it head-on. In Delhi, waste workers revealed a shocking reality. Sanitary waste is almost never segregated at the municipal level, and nearly all of it ends up in landfills. The few who attempt to separate menstrual waste are mostly from marginalized communities exposed to unsafe and unsanitary conditions. And in the sensitive islands of Andaman and Nicobar, remote beaches, coral reefs, and marine life are threatened by plastic in disposable pads. Studies on Andaman coastlines have found high densities of plastic litter, with around 87% being non-biodegradable waste. Without a well-set-up waste management infrastructure, even a small fraction of menstrual waste entering the ecosystems can accumulate over decades, harming turtles, corals, and local biodiversity and degrading fragile marine and coastal habitats. From overflowing landfills in Delhi to plastic-choked beaches in Andaman, the crisis is everywhere. Menstrual waste may be hidden, but its consequences are not. Let's see how our climate champions are tackling this problem where it matters the most.
Hello, I am NYCC Climate Champion from Delhi. Hi, I am Molly Dua, a biotechnology student from Amity University, Noida. So talking about my journey, it has always been there as long as I can remember. Started noticing the simple things that we face every day and coming to a solution if I can provide that. And for me personally, climate change believes in including everyone, the population that is not talked about, people in science, people who lack resources like sanitation, hygiene. So it is very important that we include everyone. So when we talk about climate change, I think it is very important that we talk about the topics that are not discussed. And I think youth is the most important factor here. We can discuss the taboos, the stigma surrounding these topics and break the barriers to discuss things. So I would be working on sustainable management of sanitary pads using anaerobic digestion. And I noticed that the sanitary pads that we use take 500 years to degrade. I asked myself what happens to these pads. They end up in landfills, they clog drains, and they are sometimes even picked up by rat pickers. So these issues are existing, yet we do not talk about them enough. Have a solution. One of the solutions is to anaerobically digest it and produce biogas. So in this project, I would be converting a stigma, a waste, to break barriers and fuel change. We often see slum areas that we do not discuss enough. We pass them every day, yet we do not know how the life is inside them. So these areas are overly crowded, they lack proper washrooms, no dustbins, and even lack of bathing spaces. So the awareness is quite needed, and once we understand these marginalized communities, I think we as a society will do better. I've understood that innovation is not just about technology. I think when we understand the issues that are going on, the problems that we are serving, that makes it more important. I think women would be more understanding and to understand the problem from the root and to come up with a solution. So it is quite empowering all around the world to talk about the small things that matter and to discuss it. And you never know that talking about it can bring a huge change. So my project is a pilot study that focuses on waste collection of used sanitary pads in a sanitary way. So when we have separated the waste at the very source, it would be easier for it to be degraded, anaerobically digested in this case. The anaerobic digestion part will be producing biogas. So we have to check the purity of the biogas that is produced. And in the future, we hope it can bring change and if something worthy, revolution in the field of science. So innovation also starts with awareness. In my project, I will also be conducting various awareness sessions with adolescent girls, women in slums who are under-resourced, everyone to be more aware of what they're doing and to talk about science as a solution. So that is my main aim, and within this I will also be promoting sustainable menstrual products like cloth pads and menstrual cups.
मैं हूँ NYCC का जलवायु चैंपियन अंडमान से। तो मेरा नाम सुनीता है, मैं अंडमान निकोबार से हूँ। तो हमारे वहाँ पे एनेट करके एक संस्था है, अंडमान निकोबार एनवायरनमेंट टीम। तो मैंने एज ए यूथ एम्बेसडर 1 साल काम किया है, जो कि बेसिकली वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट एंड मेंस्ट्रुअल हेल्थ पे है। हमारे गांव में रिसाइकल का कोई सिस्टम नहीं है, या तो पैड्स का डिस्पोज करने का कोई तरीका नहीं है। तो उसके लिए हम लोग वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट पे ज़्यादा ध्यान दिए और लोगों को अवेयर करना स्टार्ट करें, क्योंकि मिक्स वेस्ट जब हो जाता है तो वो मेनलैंड तक हम लोग नहीं भेज सकते और वो ऐसे ही वेस्ट का तरह ही हो जाता है। तो हमने ज़्यादातर उस पर ध्यान दिया है और अवेयरनेस सेशन वगैरह किया है, ताकि लोग वेस्ट मैनेज करना क्यों ज़रूरी है इस चीज़ को समझे और सेग्रीगेशन क्यों ज़रूरी है वो चीज़ को समझे। फीमेल्स में हमने ऑल्टरनेटिव मीन्स एज ए सोल्यूशन ऑल्टरनेटिव जो प्रोडक्ट्स है, मेंस्ट्रुअल कप, पीरियड पैंटी एंड क्लॉथ पैड इंट्रोड्यूस किया है, ताकि जो सैनिटरी वेस्ट आता है उसका सोल्यूशन आ पाए, वेस्ट जनरेट ना हो। क्योंकि सिर्फ आइलैंड ऐसा एक जगह है जहाँ पे वेस्ट सीमित होकर रह जाता है और बाहर नहीं जा पाता है। और अब तक हमारे अवेयरनेस सेशन से और हमारे इंटरेक्शन से लगभग 250 फीमेल स्विच कर चुके हैं मेंस्ट्रुअल कप पे। तो हमने इस पे ज़्यादातर यूथ को इन्वॉल्व किया है, क्योंकि आगे का जो फ्यूचर है वो यूथ ही संभालेंगे और ज़्यादातर ये सब चीज़ समझने का जो कैपेबिलिटी है वो यूथ को ज़्यादा है। अगर यूथ समझेंगे तो वो आगे जाके जो भी आने वाला जनरेशन है उनको समझा पाएंगे और आगे बढ़ पाएंगे। तो यूथ को इन्वॉल्व करना बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि मेरा सोच ऐसा है कि यूथ ज़्यादा सोचेंगे, बहुत यूथ को सीखने का जो इंटरेस्ट है वो ज़्यादा होता है लर्निंग का। यूथ को अगर इन्वॉल्व करेंगे वो आगे जाके और ज़्यादा इफेक्टिव होगा और जो प्रॉब्लम सोल्यूशन है वो भी यूथ ज़्यादा अच्छे से सॉल्व कर पाएंगे। NYCC में मेरा जो टॉपिक है, मेरा जो वर्क एरिया है वो मथुरा है। मेंस्ट्रुअल हेल्थ पे काम करना चाहती हूँ। हमारे वहाँ पे मेंस्ट्रुअल हेल्थ मीन्स सैनिटरी वेस्ट बहुत जनरेट होता है। मैं इस चीज़ पे काम करना चाहती हूँ। पहले तो मैं इस चीज़ पे रिसर्च करना चाहती हूँ कि कितना नंबर्स ऑफ वुमेन वहाँ पे सैनिटरी पैड्स वगैरह यूज़ करें और कैसे डिस्पोज करें। देन मैं उस पर सोल्यूशन पे जाऊँगी कि हम इस पे क्या कर सकते हैं कमिटी से जुड़ के, कि वो क्या सजेस्ट कर रहे हैं हमें। फिर मैं उसे डॉक्यूमेंट करना चाहूँगी कि हम सोल्यूशन कैसे निकालें, ताकि मैं इन लोगों को ज़्यादा हाईलाइट कर पाऊँ। मैं सोच रही हूँ कि इसको हाईलाइट करूँ सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म और यूथ को इन्वॉल्व करके, ताकि जो चीज़ है वो आगे जाके दिखे और लोग सोचे कि इस पे कुछ करना है, डिस्कस करें। कम से कम डिस्कस करने से भी कुछ ना कुछ सोल्यूशन निकलेगा पॉलिसी मेकिंग में, डिस्कशन में।
Across Delhi and the Andaman Islands, our climate champions are tackling the hidden crisis of menstrual waste head-on. Molly is using her biotech background to develop a sustainable method for managing menstrual waste. Her innovation is making waves. She is testing anaerobic digestion of used sanitary pads to generate biogas, while also mobilizing youth and raising awareness on safe menstrual practices. Her outreach has already engaged over 100 adolescent girls. In the Andaman Islands, Sunita has conducted door-to-door surveys with more than 74 families to understand menstrual waste practices and awareness. She has already compiled her findings into a detailed case study on menstrual hygiene and waste, which she will use to advocate with local stakeholders and strengthen community awareness.
NYCC as a platform will provide me to grow my ideas to grow, and from here I can collaborate with youth that can lead change. So it is a platform that will bring us all together so that we can hope for a better future.
मुझे एक प्लेटफॉर्म चाहिए, गाइडेंस चाहिए, ताकि मैं इस चीज़ पे और भी अच्छे से काम कर पाऊँ।
To follow along on such stories of resilience and climate action happening across India, be sure to like, share and subscribe to our channel and find more resources linked below. We are rooting for the grassroots. Are you?